What up? What up? What up? We back. Feels good to get back on cam, get in front of all the folks. Shout out to everybody that's been holding down the channel. We've been releasing some clips. I appreciate y'all keeping the channel active as possible. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been a topic blog up here in a second, but that's what we're here for right now. We're going to cover this Arsenal album. We're going to go to the Av versus Eazy The Block Captain, the reaction from the culture. I also got a clip from Cortez to play in that, as well as a clip from the battle. And I'm going to close out with Geechee Gotti's freestyle that he released from prison. Also, y'all keep an eye on the RSU podcast channel. I got to jump back over there. We got a lot of legal-based updates. All right, we got Yellow Beezy, we got Dirk, we got a lot of crime and legalities and paperwork stuff that we got to cover over there, along with some of the celebrity news. But you know what we do over here? Music and battle rap. So let's talk about it, man. Arsenal the Rebel. Shout out to you for this incredible body of work. You know, while I was away, there was 3 projects that I told myself I need to catch up with. This Arsenal joint here. Y'all can see it on my screen, right? For your Grammy consideration. This is what I was trying to explain last week. I didn't have the cover art in front of me, but the artwork is dope. The cover album. That's fire. It's creative. I like that. I even like the title of this. You know what I'm saying? For your Grammy consideration. It's like, it's creative. You know, we so used to typical, you know, around whatever the album represents, as far as like, you know, the come up and the lyrics and where I'm from and what I represent and all that. For your Grammy consideration, it just puts the thought in your mind that nobody's thinking about. And not because Arsenal isn't an extremely talented artist, but, you know, we tend to think, oh, Drake and Rihanna and right. And then he puts out an album with that title, and it's just like, I like what it can do to you mentally. It could just remind you like good music is good music. And y'all know I come from now. I'm on my blood, sweat, and tears shit. A good battle is a good battle. Fuck the tears. You know what I'm saying? Arsenal, who is a very well-established artist. He's known by a lot of celebrities out there. He has a good music following. He's not just a battle rapper. Remember, he's running around with Wyclef for a while, and he's respected by all the Jersey artists, all the big names from Jersey. They know Arsenal the Rebel, and they respect him, you know. But because despite his talent and his music ability, does he have a Grammy consideration? Maybe not. And you put an album out like this, and let's get some eyes on it, man. Let's remind ourselves, like, yo, we got people all over the place making crazy music, you know. So while I was away, it was this, the new Rick Ross, and the Tory Lanez. I ain't gonna lie, the album now started playing, you know, while I'm running around, I had my little Bluetooth speaking with me. While I was on vacay, I started playing the Rick Ross. I don't like what I heard so far, but I'm only like 30, 35, 40% through it. I want to wait for this. My bad. I got to text Ars, so I got to ask him, can I do like a live listen? Does he want that? Is the channel allowed to do that as far as like copyright material? Whatever. I gotta shoot him a text. I gotta ask him, can I do a live reaction and play like the album? I would love to. I'd sit here on a live stream with y'all and go through the whole album. So I'm gonna shoot Ars a text and see if we can do that stream this week. But what I listened to real quick, and the Tory Lanez. I gotta listen to the Tory Lanez. But this one right here, so far what I've glimpsed through, you see I got it up here on my Spotify. I see he's got Al Bial on it. Jersey supporting Jersey. That's dope to see. On the way up, so far, I'm only up to track 5, and this whole album got 17 tracks on it. So I can't even give a full review yet. I can't say whether this is a 8, 9, or a 10. Arsenal delivers. It's not going to be anything less than an 8. I know that already. Right. But so far, only being up to track 5, my joint might be on the way up. And of course, I like the Hood Hero, the way that goes. So I like the vibe of that. But on the way up, I like what he's talking about, that the opening bar from that track right there. He's talking, I don't want to spoil it, but you know, the hate that could be around you, you know, when you come up instead of the support. And I think he definitely deserves the support, especially from the battle rap culture and his peers, all battle rappers, league owners, bloggers. We should do our best to get behind folks from the culture. Arsenal's a Mount Rushmore. He's on my personal 4 Mount Rushmore. He deserves the support, y'all. But I can't wait to finish this album. I'm gonna text him for a live reaction. Let's keep the support for the homie Ars going. He deserves it. He earned it, and he's good at what he does in the booth. So shout out to Arsenal, man. Shout out to Arsenal. Can't wait to get to through the remaining 12 tracks and see what the standouts are. Okay, Arsenal. All right, next up, let's get to one of the biggest news headlines of the weekend, which I see. You know, even though I'm away, Got my phone. You know what I'm saying? So glancing Twitter, Instagram, seeing what the buzz is, seeing what the talk is. The talk, and it should be. Easy the Block Captain returns back to the stage after what, like 7 months. I got a topic for y'all on this one about a battle rap star or a battle rap superstar. For example, is Eazy a battle rap superstar? Okay, I'm gonna answer that for y'all. But the talk of the weekend, pretty much, I see is Av versus Eazy the Block Captain. Eazy returns after like 7 months. Av, a big name battle rapper as well. They clashed. The promo going in, it wasn't really that. Um, no need to kick at it now, but just from a fan standpoint and from a league owner standpoint and from a battle rap standpoint, guys, you guys really should have done a pre-face off. Now I know pre-face offs isn't always the easiest to get together. It costs money too. You got guys that live in different states, flights, hotels, venues, camera crew, and all that got to get set up. But there should have been a pre-face off. You know what I'm saying? Similar to what you like on Easy side of things, right? We saw Hitman versus Easy pre-recorded. You know, Chrome 23, Remy Ma hosted it, right? I forget if Geechee and Easy was like a early thing or if it was just done the night before. The night befores are like they're big pieces of promo. But if you can get together and do a pre-recorded face-off, weeks ahead or a month, just like Easy and Cassidy. I'm trying to use all the Easy examples. Easy and Cassidy. You see the potential that it drives. Look at Mook and Hitman. All the narratives that came out of the face off, people not knowing who they're gonna predict and who they're gonna choose. And if you end up with lightning in a bottle, then you get a Hitman and a Cassidy. The whole world lights up for it. And these guys should have really seen the promos of and did a face off. And honestly, I'm not sure if I saw even the night before face off like done now that everybody's in the same flies and the day before is in the same city. You got your camera crew there. Now it's easy to do it. And it's the day before. It's the last piece of promo. I didn't see one of those come across the timeline. I think the one that I did see was like virtual audio or something, them arguing. So there wasn't really a bigger any other big draws on the card. Shout out to all the artists on the card. Probably a lot of talent on the card, of course. There's a difference though about draw, star power, star quality, attraction. That's not the same conversation of how nice somebody is. But what I'm seeing about Av versus Easy, I told y'all last week. I said I'm not going to get a chance to watch it over the weekend, but I did promote it even Friday or last week. No, like Tuesday, matter of fact. Right, my last video that I uploaded had a topic about it, and I said, "Look, everybody support it. Everybody, I'm gonna grab it too. I'm gonna grab the VOD." That's what I said. I haven't had a chance to get around to the VOD yet. I'm backed up on battle rap videos. I'm backed up on music, as you guys see. I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna buy the battle. I'm gonna try to watch it either today or tomorrow. But what I'm seeing so far is Easy 2-1. I'm seeing a lot of people say that Av clearly took the first, and then they're pretty much leaning towards Easy for the second and the third. The second conversation that I'm seeing is around bias, right? I can't do too much with a biased crowd turnout or somebody complaining about it. From the battle rappers to the bloggers or to the fans, it is part of the battle, right? The location, for example, I'm tired of that shit. If you have a problem with location, then you got to go somewhere else. You got to go somewhere else. All right. There was a time when people said the Atlanta crowd was and there were certain cars there that just went through the roof. There's a time when people said you got to go to Houston. It's neutral, and there's a lot of battle rap fans that come out and support events out there. So that's why you see a lot of cars that went to Houston as well. A lot of leagues said, all right, let me try Houston. New York is New York. You're probably gonna get some bias there. Remember the Philly crowd that had, I think, Calico and Twerk and maybe Goods and Cassidy. They was going crazy that night. People just like, no more cards in Philly, right? All of a sudden, like every place location has their situations. I mentioned last week when Shaka and Suge and Easy battled. Look at all the energy that Suge had in the building. But Easy wanted to go. He wanted to be in Jersey, even though it's tri-state and a superstar from Philly should have his power in New York, Philly, Jersey, Delaware area, right? But you could feel it. And then after the battle is over, despite being a superstar, you see what Easy says after the battle about the crowd. right? So now I'm seeing that people doing that to Av. The same way I'm not giving it to Eazy, I'm not giving it to that battle, I'm not giving it to Hitman on stage. If he's from St. Louis and he's on the stage, where was his Eazy battle in New York? I'm not giving it to Hitman because Hitman is polarizing. He does the right thing on stage and the whole crowd is taking over. If you're a star and you're a draw or you're a great artist or your rounds is put together in a certain way, you will take over the city. That's how I feel. That's my opinion, right? And now I can't give it to Av. I can't. I can't. I see people saying that he was punching his lights out in there and nobody's really reacting. There's only like 2 or 3 people behind him that's really reacting. All right, let's talk about it. Is it just a biased crowd? Because when I listen to the acoustics, the audio of clips, for example, and I'm not going to play the clip. I probably don't have permission. I'm just going to play 3 seconds, which is just fine on YouTube. And if it's not, I'll clip it out. But just listen to the audio of this, people. Listen to the background. Listen to the energy of the room and what's on camera. Just try to think about what's behind the camera and what's surrounding in the building. Just listen to the reaction to this bar from Av.
Weak as hell, even with your teeth, BL. You just a project. You still weak as.
It's true. You literally only hear like 3 people. He said, with your teeth, BL or BBL in your mouth is kind of crazy. That's my first time hearing that one. I ain't gonna lie. Let's one more time.
BL, you just a project.
I can hear this guy say "yo" with his regular voice like 3 times. What I'm hearing and what I'm seeing there. Because I had events like this before. We all have. I've had conversations even with Rem about like some of the female cards that she's done. She's like, yo, we can't fill up a room that holds 100 people, 150 people, 200 people. You got these big name females on the card and whatnot. Like I've had conversations with all league owners about this. And the camera is framed in a way, always, my league, every league, to show the battle and a good background. You pull people behind the camera, you take a majority of the people that's there, you put them, you sprinkle them in or whatever. What you really got as well, and it doesn't benefit Av, of course, being out of town, is you don't have the greatest turnout. You know what I'm saying? Like the energy, when you hear energy like that, you can just hear somebody standing there, yo, through the audio with his regular voice. Some people are gonna say it's the end of the night. It's a 10-hour card. You know what I'm saying? And people are tired and they're not really cheering anymore. You get that. But you also get, like, in a big room, when people get tired, they get chattery. That's when somebody's on the microphone all night asking people to shut the fuck up by the bar. Yo, hold it down by the bar. Chill. We almost done. We almost out of here. They're not in that type of space. They're not in that type of room. There's not that many type of turnout here. You know what I'm saying? So you have that. You got the energy from a long night, right? You got a bias. Battle rap as a culture, when they come out and they really are there to see a battle, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could end up in a biased crowd, like I said, but you're also going to get people that are there to just see the bar. You're going to, at least 30% of the crowd, bare minimum, is like, I want to see who's going to win this battle, period. And they're going to ooh and they're going to ah when they hear some dope shit. All right. So aside from just having a bigger turnout of people there that's going to just be like, I'm here for the bars, or the crowd being tired. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you got to really start looking at is the draw of the card. And we spoke about it leading in. Like, the draw power of Av, as far as pay-per-view or tickets, I've never worked with the man, so I'm not going to jump out there and do too much of like, well, Av's draw. I can't. You know what I'm saying? I never worked with Eazy neither, but Eazy's the one that's touted as a superstar. And I'm not, this isn't, people, this is a general topic about stars and superstars in battle rap. I'm using this as an example, okay? This is not that, all right? So everybody stop crying and don't get your panties in a fucking bunch, or go to a different channel, okay? What is a superstar in battle rap? To me, a superstar is always somebody that can draw a crowd, sell tickets, sell pay-per-view on their own, not with an opponent, on their own, okay? A star is to me somebody doesn't necessarily have to draw as far as like I can sell your room out, or I can sell a good portion of your pay-per-view. I can start to bring you some ROI just simply because I'm here, right? Not necessarily a star to me. A star is somebody that has a lot of notoriety, is known across the entire culture, highly preferred to watch on cam. We want to see all this. When this person is on a card, people pay attention. Okay. Remember, battle rap does not sell one offs. I've been talking about this for so long, and it's always irked me because I always said it's common sense. I always said if a league could sell one offs, they would. These leagues don't be having loyalty to they have loyalty to their pockets first, to how much money they can make first. All right. If a league could say, I just booked Av versus Eazy the Block Captain, and I didn't need an undercard, they wouldn't spend all that money, time, coordination, effort, flights, hotels, adding 8 hours to the stream bandwidth, which costs money, adding 8 hours to the fans standing in front of you, standing on their feet, and all that type of stuff. That's not the case. I mean, the only reason why somebody would want a long event is if like the event is running ads, right? Like a regular YouTube video. You don't hear about leagues talking about that's how they monetize, by running a long video or stream to see ads. You don't see ads running when you watch a pay-per-view, do you? That's one reason to make a long pay-per-view, have a lot of people still standing there. Or let's say like a club, you make a majority of your money off the ball. All right. There's nobody there that night. You know what I'm saying? You got people coming in the door paying a ticket, and then the longer that you're there, you got people going back and forth to the bar. You don't hear that about being a big monetized area in battle rap. Other than that, when you hear all these fans complain about, damn, standing on my feet for 10 hours, you think the leagues want that? No, it's just battle rap legacy. We run events long. The people getting to the venue, the coordination of it, starting late, the pay-per-view, the battle is running late. This battle at rap is here. The opponent isn't here yet. This person's still in traffic. This person's still at the hotel. Organize all the Ubers and all. That's what it really be. All right. So a star to me, once going back to a star, the separation from a star from a superstar is that a star is not going to necessarily sell out your venue or bring you a big ROI on your pay-per-view. A superstar is supposed to, though, on their own. A star and a superstar, to me, both are supposed to be looked at independently on their own. When I say Eazy the Block Captain is not a superstar, right? A battle rap superstar, I'm talking about it from that context. I'm not talking about it that he doesn't have classic battles, that he's not one of the biggest names in battle rap. Being one of the biggest names in battle rap does what from a drawability standpoint on your own without an opponent, a big promo, a big league, a big stage, a big card, a big rollout behind you. If you just are on your own selling something, that to me is a superstar. And does Eazy the Block Captain do that? Does Av do that? The answer is no, as far as a superstar. In battle rap, our definitions of stars and superstars is not of that of what we see in the industry. It's not. And I'm speaking from a perspective of somebody that's ran battle rap business for like 12, 13 years at this point. You know what I'm saying? The main cars, the main shit, RBE, 10 years, everything on both sides of that, like 12, 13 years in total. I understand the market. I understand the fans. I understand the 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 peaks and the valleys. I understand the interest. I've taken my wins and my losses. I've booked some of the biggest names and looked out and saw 50 people there. I've booked some of the biggest matches that I thought at the time that were going to hit and do pay-per-view. And it's in the red. I lost money. I'm looking out and I'm just like, damn, like this room is not sold out. That's not a sold out crowd that's there in that small room arena. That's not a sold out crowd. Okay, so that battle with that card underneath it, with that type of rollout, no face off, Eazy to Block Captain, not necessarily being a superstar, especially at this point in his career, Av being an opponent that's not really a star drawing type of with the fans, the matchup not being a big matchup that the fans want to see, the card being there's no draw to the card outside of Eazy and Av, name wise, respectfully, once again, name wise, the rollout, no pre-face off, the promo. We're even calling it promo. I told y'all about the fourth wall there in the last video. I don't even got to get to that. Double back on that again. The rollout of it, trenches as a platform isn't necessarily like look at like a trenches announcement And then watch when like URL does Summer Madness or Gnome. Watch how they roll it out. Watch the timing of the card, the timing of the announcement, the trailers that come, the engagement, and I get it. People are gonna say they have 1 million subscribers, right? But I've watched Chrome 23 do it. I've watched Chrome 23 do a big rollout, okay, where the announcements are coming, the trailers are coming at different times. Um, Rams flying to a hotel over here, or bringing Hitman into a contract signing video, the face off of Hitman and Eazy, and then you look out. Now I get it. You got Rem, you got Chrome 23, you got the big matchup, you got Hitman Holla, who is a battle rap superstar draw definition wise, and that's what it creates. And I had a video that I was gonna do, still do. Who knows? I hope not. To be fair, to be real. But one of the episodes was how Eazy the Block Captain was created. And what I'm doing in that video, I have it chapped it out. But in the video, what I'm doing is I'm giving the credit of his rise and his stature to Rem, to URL, to Sue Surf, and to the Hitman Holla battle. Right. And I'm breaking down all the details of those chapters. And now there's nothing wrong with that, because there's pieces that create all of us. Somebody will say, your rich mother, your rich father, that employee that gave you a job, or you wouldn't be there unless your brother or your big homie that really, you could say that about a million things, a million people. RBE isn't RBE unless Shota puts up half the money for the first card. RBE isn't RBE unless you got Rosenberg, Raw, Oops, and Gems, and Adi Boom, and JC, and Show Off, and Big Cannon all on the front line when we start. RBE is an Murder Mook could get on stage versus Hitman and say, when I went to RBE, that league became something. It's 2018. When you went to RBE, that league became nothing. The bill collector battle. You know what I'm saying? Everybody could have their opinions on what makes you and what doesn't, or what adds to you, or what catapults you. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is, once you're up there, how do you stay there? And in that same video, I was going to use the clip of when Rem and Eazy went up to the news station. I was going to key in on when they asked Rem, so what's next? And she struggled with that question. She said, she's like, I don't know, because coming out of this Hitman Eazy situation, when you look out in the crowd, you see a sea of people, this big promotion, millions of views, pay-per-view that rang off, tens of thousands of dollars from the door, minimum, right? And then she's like, I'm not sure, because to replicate that, you got to line up the stars unless you have the superstar right there. And Eazy has had to go on to prove that afterwards, so the Geechee battle was a big deal, good promo. Rem not standing there, Rem not promoting the battles or posting them, or being her face on camera. It hurts. It takes away. I think a lot of battle rap is even interest in the trenches in Chrome 23, whether they admit it or not, because to Eazy's defense, a lot of people probably jumped on his dick when they felt that Rem was right there and they had access to Rem. A lot of people probably jumped on his dick at that time. You know what I'm saying? And now they don't see the power in the trenches anymore. They don't see the promo in it. Or they don't see Rem, and now they off. Like, there's no loyalty in battle rap. There's no loyalty like that. So those things not being there, it takes away from Eazy's superstar ability, and then when you see these battles where he's the main event and they're all small room, like what does it take to go back to that stage when you had Hitman versus Eazy? That is one of the pinnacles. Or when you look at some of his other big battles, Goods and Chess or whatever, some people's going to say these are big cards, Summer Madness and Gnome, and the URL rollout and promotion behind it. To do it on your own is a different story. I think Mook could do it on his own. I think Lux could do it on his own. We've watched Hitman do it on his own. Eazy doesn't have those turnouts without, the gun titles backing, the URL backing, Remy presentation, rollout, her being there, visually as far as promoting, the big opponent. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing that Eazy just learned. If he wants a big main event, he can't battle a promoter or a garnering of attention type of battle rapper like a Av. Av is going to be considered like, what's a dope NBA player draw wise? He's going to be like a Scottie Pippen. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, I'm a Scottie Pippen, and as a league owner, it's all good. I would say, like a Scottie Pippen almost, like the Jordan superstar and him is supposed to create magic. Promo wise, draw wise, you got to line up all the other pieces as well. All right. Now, let's talk about this clip from Cortez. I saw him talking about the turnout and the angles that were used. I think Cortez is kind of calling like you got to read the room, Av.
Phase with Geechee Gotti, and it came to a point where now it's not going to work no more. Remy, Pat, Hurricane Dude, it's not going to work anymore against him. And now it's Teflon. It's Teflon. Like, it just bounces right off of him. It's not going to work. It's not just because he was in the trenches. Av should have knew better. He should have known better. That's the thing that I don't understand about battle rappers and writers. Like, some people just think that their writing is so sufficient that they don't have to read the room. You have to read the room. You have to know, yo, I'm going into this battle. It's his crowd. It's his league. I cannot do the redundant, typical topics. It's not going to work. So when other bloggers recap this, they're going to sit there and say, I don't know, Av was just, his punches weren't just landing. No, it wasn't that his punches weren't landing. It's that he didn't care enough to dig deeper into his writing. It was just very, just covering all bases, but just doing your job, not going above and beyond to execute the game plan and secure a win. Maybe he had life going on. Maybe he had other things. I don't know. But from a writer standpoint and from a battle rapper standpoint, I know that he had to know, everyone has said this stuff already in different ways. You're not going to use easy name flips, right? Easy name flips, you might get one or two that are very, very unique and out the box, but you're not going to have a lot. The Remy angles, the Pat angles, you might have one or two that might be unique, but it's still not going to be enough. So what do you rely on when you battle Eazy? What can you rely on that can stick, or what can you address? There's mad stuff, mad controversy around Eazy, but I don't think Av touched on those things the way he needed to. He just kept it at real face value with just the common controversy stuff. Now, maybe in another setting it would have worked, but at the end of the day, you took a check from Eazy, and you took a check on the trenches. So doing that battle there, and it's a YouTube drop, no bueno.
I mean, he's speaking from an artist standpoint, and Cortez is a legend and a vet. So you got to listen to a lot of that. You got to take a lot of that advice if you're sitting in my shoes, right? Because I'm not a writer and I'm not an artist of these guys' caliber at all. But the reason why I also feel like you miss with that stuff, it's also the type of battle, obviously, like Ab being a puncher versus an angle. Like if we see Eazy versus Math right now, if we see Eazy versus Mook right now, if we see Eazy versus Swave. Swave held that title for a while. Them third round angles is like, oh shit. And so forth and so on. Like I can keep going. But definitely like a Math or a Mooka, like those guys pop to the front of my thoughts as far as angle is. When you get to that third round versus those guys, it's gonna be hell to pay. And it doesn't matter the topic. It could be this girl, it could be that guy, it could be this op. It don't matter. Like imagine the way a Math would craft like a pap scheme or some shit like that, or Rem, being that his name got thrown around in the mix a little bit at a time, right? Imagine a third from that would be intriguing to the crowd. It's not even about to me. Now, once again, I'm not trying to speak against from an artist's mind like Cortez. I'm trying to speak from a historical standpoint. We can talk about JC breakdancing for 20 years. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. Okay. When he got to his T-top battle, then he had like breakdances or whatever. All right. And it's like it's done in a way that has to be captivating. It's got to feel new. If you just punch and say, you ran your mouth too much about Rem, and you would have just known that Av is cracking Rem. That was a dope bar. I seen that clip on Twitter. It's a dope punchline, but that's all it is. It's not going to make you turn and look at Eazy and go, oh, yo, your character. No, not like that. Not like that. You gotta find a way to use an angle like that to make fans feel a different type of emotion that they haven't felt before, or look at Eazy in a way that they haven't looked at him before. And sometimes it's not that easy from a creative standpoint if it's a topic that's been done multiple times. These aren't dead. They're never dead. Battle rap shows you that. They're never dead topics. You know, like me, if I can't find a super creative way to go about it, I'm leaving it alone. Right. Because it can get corny and drawn out if you're not going to do something new to it. That's how you hurt yourself. I don't blame a crowd for that. I'm with Core. Like, I blame like how you construct that. Okay. Speaking of construction, I seen that as a lot of feedback with the third round for Hitman and Mook. Like, you're talking about paperwork, but the way it's constructed doesn't go over that. When I'm watching that third round, I think a lot of fans is watching that almost just like, I'm not sure, or how is this really, or do we got to jump out and say 100% this is, and they're not even having those big peak moments of just, oh, huge punchline. I mean, there's punchlines in it, but the crowd isn't gripping on to the big setups of it. Whereas like Big K and Adi Boom, you know, when he gets to the snitch boy and all that, you looking like you want to fight. Even Boom turns slightly nods his head a little bit. Bitch, you should have fought the case. You see what I'm saying? If you don't have your setups like that and your build-ups like that, and it's just a punch about shit that just, if the thought just comes and goes in a split second, then that's all it is. It's just a quick punchline. That's all it is. I'm speaking really like how that I watched how that shit go on stage for years. It's just a quick punchline. Oh, okay. You made it rhyme. I saw what your setup, and you made it rhyme, and then you moved on. If you build it up, boom, 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 and then it's got the big peak and valley, like Big K and A Ward. I got so many examples of these where it's just like, yo, this is incredible how they crafted all the way up to the peak. You're doing all this build up trying to say that A Ward is this choir boy. He's not this, he's not that. And, you know, and then the whole, the eyes, when I close my eyes and hit something, it's just like, it's over. It's over the way it's crafted. It's not just the punchline. It's the buildup. It's the entrapment of the fan. And then when you get to that peak, it's making them go. All right. It's the climax of the movie. When you got the drop, like that's all it is. And then nobody died, or everybody, like, all right, yeah, we saw you. Like, that's how it is when it's an angle that we're watching a horror movie. We know people are gonna die. How do you kill this person in a creative way? Or how do you take this person out the movie in a way where we didn't see coming? You know, that was dope. That was what was so dope about the first Scream. This first Scream movie, and then the jump scare genre. This shit goes deep to me. The jump scare genre takes off, and as we start getting all those movies, I Know What You Did Last Summer and all this type of shit. It's just grabbing the fans. Even if you see it coming, it's a horror movie. You hear the music. It's dark outside. The doors is locked. Something about to happen, but you still find a way other than just watch the guy walk down the block with the knife and then walk up to the guy. And if the punchline is developed like that, then it's just like we saw that coming, and now we feel bored about the angle. It's not necessarily the angle, it's how you constructed it. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna catch the battle hopefully today or tomorrow, like I said, so I can see it in full. I did see some big clips online on Twitter, you know, not bootlegs, but somebody put up like almost a whole one of Eazy's rounds and almost a whole one of Av's rounds. You hate that as a league owner, but you know, I clicked it. So right there on Twitter, and I caught a vibe for the turnout and the battle and what those two guys is on. So all in all, it looked like a good battle, you know. But location, open your minds, people. Angles, open your minds, people. There's always factors at play there. All right, last but not least, Geechee Gotti. Should we play it? Should we play it? Why not? Let's play it. Let's play it. Shout out to Geechee, man. Free Geechee. Jail Talk Part 1, Geechee Gotti. Will this be a series is the question. You never know.